Well, not quite all of it, but more than a little bit of it.
Welcome back, everybody. Um, so yeah, we are just kind of failing abysmally at everything, and that's Birding Wheel for you. Uh, that's
Basically.
all of it.
What's about the game, bro?
Yeah. So, Levy, you're gonna ask me about this situation about the nobles wanting to spy on Lynn. I think before I can.
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Okay. Well, maybe it won't go down like that at all. But before I can respond to that, I think maybe there's the immediate situation of um,
So
Devi
these things don't
following
happen on the same day.
or Devi chasing down uh,
Yeah.
the guy who's trying to blackmail me. Um, I want to keep an eye on that situation if at all possible.
Sure.
Uh,
I mean, you can follow her. She's not gonna stop you.
okay. Um, the main thing being, I don't mind if she. I don't necessarily mind if she knows that I'm following. I definitely don't want blackmail guy to know that I'm following him, and I want to, and I do want to
I
try and find out what they're saying and where he goes afterwards.
So I think you won't have trouble observing the situation because an angry Devi storming at you, Davy, is going to keep anybody occupied, especially somebody who is jumpy. So keeping yourself hidden isn't a problem. Davy doesn't mind you listening, and the other guy is too busy. So I think this is not something you actually need to roll for.
Okay.
This is just something you do. So she storms up to the guy, like she corners him in a street, like physically corners the guy. And she's like, "You're gonna tell me what's going on between you and Mathers right now." And he just he cowers and he's like, What? Look, that's between me and Mathers, okay?" She just gives him the fiery burn eyes and right now, or I'm gonna burn your insides. Okay, but you don't have it from me, all right? Mathers needs to pay me money, and look, we had this business a while back, and I don't, I look, I don't want any trouble, okay? But it wasn't exactly legal, and I guess I kind of told Mathers that I would tell someone about it if he didn't pay me the money. and she like Davy just goes ballistic. You what? You she just turns into this fiery, angry beast. And for a moment there, the guy is like, okay, I'll get the money somewhere else. Um, and he just runs off. Um, at the same time, Mathers, you notice something moving from the corner of your eye.
Oh boy. Uh, yeah, I'll try and track what that is, but if it's a matter of choosing between whatever's in the corner of my eye and keeping an eye on this guy to see where who he talks to next, I need to know where this guy's going.
No, I think this is a matter of choosing between, like, you see, basically you see like a cloak from the corner of your eye, rounding the corner of the street. So you'd have to choose who to follow.
Okay. Yeah. Like, I think I'm more paranoid about this guy than the unknown situation. Even if Davey might have just resolved the problem for me, he specifically has information on me, whereas this cloak I don't know anything about really. It's it's something in the corner of my eye. It's probably nothing, right? Probably.
I mean, it definitely won't come back to bite you in the butt like very hard. I mean,
Oh, of course not.
Not very hard, just a little bit hard.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, I will I will make the worst choice because reasons.
Okay. Wonderful. I love you making the worst choice. That's just great. So you follow the guy, and at some point he heads to his room, and while he's inside the room, you can hear him arguing, but you're not sure who he's arguing with. Like, you can hear his voice, and he appears to be answering to someone or something, but you don't hear a voice that replies to him.
It's interesting.
And the conversation is about that he needs more time. I promise. Don't hurt me. And then you hear a bit of a yelp, like, ah.
Can I try and peek through the like a keyhole or something?
Sure. Let's say the door has a keyhole.
Okay. Is there a roll involved there, or is that just
I guess it depends on how lucky you get. Let's see. I'm not sure how you do that. Should I just roll for luck?
all right?
If you want, you can do a scaled test, like a
The
tiered information gathering test, where you don't roll against an obstacle.
It's the die of fate. If you just want to live up to luck.
The die of fate. Let's see then. D6. I guess 1 is unlucky and 6 is lucky, huh?
I think it's actually.
Ah.
Okay, so you see
Whichever way you want it to be.
Exactly what's going on. Like, you see this guy apparently talking to like empty air, and like when he screams, you see him like stab himself like through the hand with a knife.
That's pleasant.
Okay. Yeah.
So you don't really know what's going on, but there's something funky here.
Okay, so it's not just that he's in debt to somebody normally bad. That's interesting. I feel a little more comfortable bringing others in, maybe.
Well, it's up to you what you do with this
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I will stick around a while to see if he like runs off to somebody else. But if it's apparent that he
afterwards he heads to Medica, and he comes up with some kind of excuse about how he fell and like hurt his hand, like just an unlucky, like he was eating and then he was holding his knife and then he fell, and they look at him a little suspicious, but they treat his wound.
Okay. Um. Hmm. Well, I think I think I'm going. I will like next opportunity like look up uh the others like if there's an opportunity to see all three of Desi, Lynn, and Levi, I will.
Do you bring in Davy as well?
Um, that's the thing.
Healthy relationship you two have.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that I'll talk to her separately. Like I don't want to exclude her, but I don't want to get her in additional trouble. Whereas the others, they're friends, but it's just different. It's just different.
Okay. So, Lynn, Levi, and Desi, do you appear when Mathers calls upon you?
Sure.
Yes.
I don't have a reason not to.
Yeah, I think Lynn has someone else that she wants to see, so she'll be heading off in a separate direction afterward. After their little meeting in the library.
Oh, I thought this was at a different time.
There are three events that happen. There is the event with Desi and the mysterious stranger that happened 3 days ago. There's the event with Levi and the spies, which happens 2 days in the future. And then there is the event with Mathers and the situation which happens in current time. So the person you want to go see, Lynn, is that in response to the events of Desi, Mathers, or Levi?
I think it would probably be after probably it's been something that she's been thinking about for a little while, but it probably comes up in her mind after the whole thing with Mathers.
Okay, fair enough. So you're not there then. Is that correct? That you're
Yes.
not there? Okay.
Yeah, I head off somewhere else.
Okay. So the Mathers, you've called upon your friends, and Levi and Desi have shown up.
Now you know who your real friends are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lynn's a business partner of a sort.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, I came across an interesting situation. I hate to trouble you, you two, but Desi, you might find this particularly interesting. Do you know that fellow that was bothering me earlier in the library?
She just nods.
Well, I don't want to burden you with all the particulars, but it seems that he is being blackmailed by some sort of force wielding perhaps it's sympathy, perhaps it's something more esoteric. I'm not sure.
She frowns.
But unfortunately, he's trying to make his problems my problems, and I don't want to do anything too. I wouldn't want to overreact too much, but but it's not something that I can just let lie. And Levi, I know that you're well, I guess I can't speak over much about your areas of expertise. I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that maybe
Yes, tell us more, Levi. Tell us the ways you know things and don't know things.
I know that you are talking with a scary voice right now. I don't like it.
She smiles. She absolutely beams.
I don't look scared, but I just say it like this.
So yes, I can't I don't want to make assumptions, but from I guess a few past yeah
I smile.
but I suspect that you know that a rotating tail is more discreet than a single person one. There are certain issues of tradecraft that maybe I'm wrong, but that perhaps you could assist with.
You mean something like I don't know, what's it called? Smithing or something? I don't understand. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you assuming? I'm confused. What are you hinting at?
Oh, forget I asked. I am clearly off base here, and I am sorry that I troubled you.
No worries. That's why
I'm listening, Mathis. My ears are open.
Well, thank you for that, Desi. Perhaps, unfortunately, I don't have all the details that I would like, but I know that you do have certain methods of acquiring information. Perhaps we could work together on a chart to see what we can if we can glean some information about. We should name this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we should.
we
That's a
should
good
give
idea.
this guy a name. Hold on, let me get my fantasy name generator.
Maybe Rafe.
Name generator.
It's not.
Suddenly can't spell anymore.
Like short for
Yeah,
Raphael.
I'll grab up a name generator. Please continue with what you were doing, and I will tell you in a moment what this guy is called, unless somebody has an idea.
Rafe short for Raphael. Just popped
It's
in
a
my
good
head.
name.
Is, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd be nice Rav though.
Rob. Okay.
Rav. Raphael. Rav Raphael. Yeah, sounds good.
we could perhaps look into the matter for his own good, and if we can help him, perhaps it'll help everyone.
Rarely those who I show the true path listen.
More's the pity. I think most people are happier with a convenient truth than an inconvenient truth. Sad to say.
Rarely
But
do I find a convenient truth.
yes. But such is the world.
I
So let me see. Perhaps I could uh ask a friend of mine at admissions if by any chance they could find out Rav's birth date. We that might be helpful in working up a chart. So if you're on board for doing it, I will see if I can get that information, and then we'll see what the stars hold.
She nods.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and circles up somebody in admissions.
Sure. In the meantime, Lynn, what is it that you were
Yes.
doing?
I'm also looking to circle somebody up as it happens.
Because
Specifically,
that's the best.
in
Such a cool mechanic.
It is.
You get to make people. I love making people.
Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah. So the person I'm looking for is I'm thinking that they would, because Lynn is getting a bit suspicious of things that are happening. First, the whole thing with Desi, she said that in the back of her head, like someone mysterious wants her. Like that's happened before, but combine that with the strange thing that happened with Mathers, and she just has a lot on her head. So she's trying to look for an old acquaintance from the Academy of Tinway, who also made their way to the university. And maybe this person is a bit more in touch with what's going on back home, to see if someone is looking for them.
That sounds reasonable. How dare you?
Right. So, what would the old obstacle be for that?
So who are you looking for? Like, what role do they have, or
This would have been a fellow student back at the academy.
a fellow student?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who also made their way to the university.
I'm reading the rules here right now for circles. Okay. So I think you are looking at an obstacle of 4. This is, somebody who's you're looking for somebody who's conveniently a student here, but comes from the same place as you do, and they should possess difficult, like, or fairly specific knowledge.
Yeah, so the whole thing about detailed knowledge definitely applies.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can get 2 dice. I'm gonna get a +1 modifier for my affiliation.
Okay.
And I'm gonna spend my persona on this.
Okay. Sure. You going to ask anybody's help, like ask somebody you know to introduce you, or
No, this is specifically something that she's doing by herself.
anything you can fork in? Can you fork into circles? I'm not sure if you can fork into circles.
No, it's not a skill like that. This is where like affiliations and reputations come
Yeah.
into play.
Okay, fair enough.
So up 4,
Yes.
probably gonna fail this.
Looks like it.
Yeah,
At least you earned yourself a challenging test.
indeed.
So,
You got a 6. Are you gonna re-roll it?
I don't have any faith.
Oh, dang
This
it!
is the sad thing.
That is a sad thing.
That is a sad thing.
day.
so, on a third circle, I have an option, an enmity clause.
Oh, enmity clause is the best.
Enmity clause is the best. When a player searches for a contact via his circles but fails the roll, the GM has the option to call on the enmity clause. Rather than finding someone who is favorably disposed to the character, the player finds out he has an enemy out there, someone who feels insulted, mocked, intimidated, cheated, or scorned by the character. So, you're certainly going to find someone. Unfortunately, you have publicly wronged this person in the past. Tell me, Lynn. I know this must be one of the people who had a crush on you in past days.
Yeah,
And you have
for sure.
crushed their soul in front of all their friends and enemies. Tell me, who are they and how did this happen? And
Fantasy name generator. So let's see. I think this is probably a woman, for sure.
okay,
Yeah, and I think they might have been the kind of friends that were like BFFs during school,
okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
then sort of fell apart when Lynn was picked out for joining this like court sorcerer type of deal, and then they sort of drifted apart, and yeah, things turned very sour from there. So let's see. Way too many. Let's see, I think her name is it's gonna be Sarah. It's with 2 R's.
Sarah. Is that with an H at the end or not?
Yes.
Okay, Sarah.
Sarah, woman scorned.
Yes. Oh, that's new. When you fill in the name, it actually also automatically edits the name, the name of the character sheet. That used to not be like that.
I think it depends on the character sheet.
Yeah, it depends on the character sheet.
Yeah, but it didn't used to do it for this character sheet, if I remember correctly.
Well, now it does, so yay!
That's cool.
Neat.
So you find Sarah, and you're pretty sure that she's aware of things, of how things are back home. Like, she used to know all the gossip. Unfortunately, you she declared her love for you in a very vulnerable way, in the middle of the street, and you were like, You know what? I'm really not that into you. I
Yeah.
think it's cute though.
I think it's cute, but
Aww. You've fallen for me, haven't you? It'd be funny if it wasn't so sad.
Oh.
Hmm.
The worst.
Hmm.
Okay, so what do you do?
I think and she probably lives in the muse, so she doesn't have anyone else here. So I go off and find her dorm.
Mhm.
So I imagine that she is like in a similar situation that Chloe in the start, where she shares a room with three or four other people.
she's in bunks probably.
Yeah. So it's gonna.
There's 3 different things you can do in Muse. You can go into bunks, which is like a big room, big area where there's a lot of beds, and then you can share a room with like 1 or 2 other people, or you can have a room to yourself.
Yeah, I think she's in the second situation. She has a room with like
A shared
3 or,
room. Yeah, sure.
2 or 3 people. There's a steal myself and give it a good knock on the door.
Okay. She opens the door and she was smiling, and then she sees you and she's like, Lynn.
Hello,
You
Sarah.
see her considering, to throw the door back in your face.
Yeah, I think I put my hand on the door and say, like, look, I know. I'm sorry. I need to talk.
Do you know?
Yes,
I didn't know you were such a talker. I mean, aside from when it comes to publicly degrading people.
Well, I do like to talk on other occasions as well. Look, Sarah, I know this must be hard for you. Like, I wouldn't come here if I had any other options, but I don't know anyone else here from back home.
I see, sir. I'm your last option.
You're my only option.
She like huffs.
Sarah, could be a life or death situation here. I know that you keep in touch with some people from back home, and I think there's someone after me.
Do you know?
I do.
And why would that be my business? I mean, you just ditch me when you go to your fancy court, and you don't care about me. You're just here because you need me.
But I do need you. Need you now more than ever.
Go ahead and try and convince her to tell you something.
Yeah. In here comes the part where Lynn doesn't actually have persuasion.
Oh no!
Well, that will give you a very beautiful obstacle.
Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take another route. This is not going to be nice.
God. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I think she's... Look, Sarah, I turned you down for a reason. And I know because you're jealous and you're reclusive like this, you turn away someone in need. And I know that's why we couldn't be together. Hell, I barely consider us friends. But I'm coming here because I need you. I need the information that I think you have. I think no one else has this. I don't like you particularly. I know you don't like me. But I think we need to work together on this. I have no other choice.
So what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to roll out the truth.
That sounded like ugly truths to me.
So question is if you can use ugly truth, because To me, it sounds like ugly truth is more of the kind of thing like you need me as well. But let me see.
Not necessarily. It's all about
Where is ugly
laying
truth?
bare the truths of a situation, which...
Sure, but will the laying bare the truth of the situation convince her? That's more of the question.
I mean, that's a different question. That is a different question. It would convince some people, but not necessarily her.
Yeah, I
Ugly,
think it
ugly
depends on the
reputation.
role.
Where's ugly truth? Oh, this is traits. What the fuck? No wonder it doesn't say that in traits.
306.
Traits. 306. And then, of course, my thing falls out.
You didn't need that anyway.
Go back.
Who needs a thing?
Yeah, it only keeps track of where I am with reading. I mean, I can just start over at 0, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Seems
306.
Clearly for the best.
Ugly truth.
Because, you know, I mean...
From the very beginning. I've heard it's
Burning Wheel, yeah. Burning Wheel is such a short, small book. You might as well start from the beginning. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very dense and readable. Rather light.
Yeah. I mean, I read it a couple of times before I go to bed, just because you go through it so fast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's light reading.
Strip the situation to its bare naked core. So what you can strip the situation to in this case, as far as I understand it, is that you don't have shit, she doesn't owe you shit, but you need her. You think that's going to convince her?
I think I'm probably going to drop something about she has no purpose in life without me.
I think she has a purpose in life without you, probably.
I mean, she might think that.
But
Doesn't
then
mean
it's
she's
not
right.
an ugly truth, then it's falsehood. Or persuasion if you're trying to convince her of
I mean,
the fact.
I'm not intently trying to lie. It's not falsehood.
You're just delusional?
I don't think that counts as like...
I'm misinformed, perhaps.
Perhaps, but you being misinformed does not like if you successfully lay bare the truth, then you lay it bare to yourself as well. So I don't think that's gonna work.
I think that that definitely like is the truth. Like Lynn doesn't have anyone else to go to. Like it's not the truth
Right,
about
but that's
Sarah,
not gonna just because you have nowhere else to go to doesn't mean that she's gonna help you just because of that.
Yeah,
I think that would be up to the role, wouldn't it? Like to the role result.
no. Like, the situation is as it is. Ugly truth can be used to show the situation as it is. So, if somebody is, for instance, lying to you or refusing to see the truth, then you can be like, hold on, this is how the situation is, and you're going to have to deal with it. However, the situation as it is not going to help you convince her.
I don't think that's universally true. Like, I think it might.
You use like the ugly truth in if you're trying to convince the masters that something needs to be changed about the school because it's wrong, and you show them exactly how wrong it is.
Yeah, but if I don't know exactly how wrong it is, then I can't do it. Like if it isn't like infallibly wrong, then I apparently can't use it according to you.
Ugly truth is used for the truth. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but the truth is such a subjective thing, is it?
The truth, I mean,
sometimes, but in this case, it's pretty clear that you ditched her, and it's pretty clear what the situation is here.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, the thing is that Burning Wheel cuts
the ugly truth on you, so you can see actually that where you're mistaken here.
Like, if you don't think the ugly truth is worth it enough as a skill, you're welcome to redistribute your skill points.
No, I think it's worth it, but I think it applies here.
If you well, I don't think so. It can help you like show how much and shit. Like, you can try to use it to play to her pity, but I don't think she's gonna fall for that. So, in some cases, ugly truth might work.
I think that would be up to the role.
Yeah. I could see it as like fork or as a a setup. I forgot the term. For like an intimidation, where like you let her know that she's your last chance, so that you will react strongly if she doesn't give you the information that you need.
Sure, intimidating makes a lot of sense if that's what you want to do, and you can use this as a link test for that.
Link test.
That's reasonable, or a fork. Either way, I guess fork is better.
But I mean, Burning Wheel is so specific about its skills that they're cut up into like these tiny little chunks. And if the skill that you have and want to use is the wrong chunk, then it just says, oh no, you get to roll the test under the exact thing and fail because because it's impossible, because most rolls in Burning Wheel are impossible.
Like if you look at something like one of the classic examples that Adam Coble gives in the like why I love Burning Wheel video that he made was, if you want to kill somebody to convince the king that just to be impressive and have the king want to like you better, then whether or not you kill the guy is inconsequential to whether or not the king likes you. But you can still roll sword in order to do that, with your outcome being that the guy likes you. And so I think what Umbra's trying to say here is that the ugly truth is that Lynn needs help, but the ultimate goal of putting out there and laying that out there and laying it bare is to get the help. Now, if you're saying that she's not the kind of person that plea for help would move, then that would probably be something that Lynn would be aware of and be like, this is not going to be a way to win her over, and to try a different tactic. But I think it's legitimate to try to want to roll ugly truth here to get Lynn's way in this situation, is what I'm trying to say.
So there's a lot of there's a lot of forces at play here, right? So you've got the intent and task thing that Burning Wheel has, where if you state your intent and your task, and you succeed at that task, then you succeed at your intent, regardless of whatever, regardless of what the task was. However, Burning Wheel also says Burning Wheel is also very about realism and about being specific. If there's a better skill for the job, you're supposed to use the skill that's better for the job. And if this is what a PC thinks, then that's what he thinks. And then you need to actually change their mind if you wanted to change by rolling the dice and changing their mind. So normally as a GM, I love to do like what you're suggesting, Kala, which is like rolling the dice to see what the fiction is. So rolling the dice, and depending if you roll good, they're favorable to you and you get what you want, and if you roll bad, well, I guess they just weren't favorable. But Burning Wheel, I feel, is set up different. It's more about, okay, this is what the situation realistically is. And if you roll bad in Burning Wheel, then the situation doesn't change. It does. You don't just suddenly get unlucky. You just didn't do what you were trying to do, or didn't do it in time. Like it's obviously up to the GM to complicate it in difficult ways. And like I don't feel like she is like she's already poor. You said she has like a shared rooms in Muse. That doesn't make her very rich. She already got dumped by you she is for the rest. She's a person. She's not an obstacle of your whim. She's a person who has things and that she cares about. So I don't think it would be very realistic to also make it that without you she has nothing in her life.
I mean, Lynn probably thinks that.
Lynn probably thinks that,
Yeah.
sure, but that doesn't make it true.
No.
And Ugly Truth says, strip a situation or argument to its bare naked core.
Yeah. Doesn't say anything about the truth.
Yeah, the naked core of truth. Whole point.
I think that's kind of implied. It's called Ugly Truth.
Yeah, you read it how you want, and you're the GM. It's your call.
I don't think like Ugly Truth is gonna do. You can definitely fork it into things. Like you can fork it into convincing her to have pity on you in some way. You can fork it into threatening her. So you can do stuff with it, but just showing her the ugly truth will not, or you can do it as a link test for something, but just showing her the ugly truth will not convince her of this situation.
Okay. Yeah, so I think what happens in the fiction is that Lynn probably thinks it'll work because she hasn't met Sarah in a very long time.
Fair enough.
But she's grown up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the main reason.
Part
like,
of it.
If it was very recently, then I imagine that she might still be heartbroken, but she's had time to build up things she cares about.
Yeah, like it's been like a good 10 years almost since they broke up.
Yeah. So
were they even really dating?
I mean, it's they're like.
I don't know. Were you ever dating, and did you dump her, or did she just propose to you and you were like, nah?
I mean, I think it's like the high school thing, where you promise that you're going to be together forever, and then you're not.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So people just fall back into the old habits. So I think Lynn realizing that Sarah's not responding to this. I think she's gonna have to try something else. And let's see. See, Katerina is my everything, my heart and my soul. I'll do whatever I can to keep her safe. I think I'm going to try and intimidate her.
Certainly.
There we go.
Yeah. So I think what Lynn will do is that she will reach into one of the many pockets of her coat and pull out a knife.
Nice.
And that will certainly give you advantage to your intimidation.
She pulls out the knife and I think she holds it up. So she just shifts it around in her hand and says, "It appears you're a bit less receptive to this than I thought. Your mind has grown a bit, sir. I would have been impressed if it had been such an inopportune time. But I think you're going to have to tell me what I want. Or this is going to have to get ugly."
Okay, so yeah, I think intimidation is also a good way to reach her. I think the obstacle for this is 4. You can fork in Ugly Truth if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm going to fork in Ugly Truth. I'm going to fork in throwing. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Fair enough.
If this doesn't. Let's see. So that's the threat. So then I get the +1 from piercing gaze, I think. I think that's how that works out. I was just looking at this.
You also get a +1 for having the knife. She said that was a factor.
So if you're throwing, are you then actually wielding, throwing the blade into the wood of the door next to her face, or
See, if we're standing in the door, I think I'm actually just throw it right beside her. So it's in the door, like right next to her face.
Okay. Yeah.
Or do you just want to like throw it up in the air and catch it in
You can
an
do that.
intimidating fashion?
Yeah, so let's see. 2 forks and 1 advantage die from the knife. Navarta up 4. There we go.
Nice.
There we go.
There you go.
I mean, nice
Just
is
like-
definitely a word for this situation.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you.
Good.
Yes, there is somebody looking for you.
Who is it?
He thinks he had this weird name.
It's not vintage then? It's not vintage then? Not from back home?
I don't know. Actually, no. Hold on. Let me look at my session notes. Not in my session notes. It's in my plot list. Too many stuff. At the bottom. How was the dude called that you know? The dude on your character sheet somewhere.
Who, me?
Yes.
Be specific. I have a few dudes on my character sheet.
The one you were worried was looking for you.
The Baron Whalen.
Baron Whalen. That was his name.
Katrina's father.
Yeah, Whalen. Whalen, right.
Okay.
So, yes. Baron Whalen. He's looking for you. I don't know what he wants from you. Like that's all that I know. Like, I hear he paid some kind of like organization to get information of you. It's just court rumors, though. I'm not even sure if it's true. And please go. Got your information.
Let's see. Yeah, she can just pulls the wood out of the pulls the wood out of the door. pulls the knife out of the door.
Wow!
Rips the door out. Leaves. Pulls her knife out the door and fine. You go on your way, Sarah. Don't expect to ever see you again.
I expect you'll see her again.
Yeah. Turn around and walk away, striding with great purpose.
Terrible purpose, even.
Indeed, great and terrible.
Let me put this on my plot list.
I don't know why you would do that. I mean, this couldn't possibly come back to bite Lynn in the ass. Clearly, this situation is done. It's dealt with.
Definitely done.
Sarah
See nothing bad
with
Yeah,
coming.
threatening people with a knife in their house. That's never a bad idea. I think everything is fine, and you
all
have
gonna
nothing
be
to worry about. I asked the stars, and they said it was cool. No, wait, you didn't actually consult any of us before you did this, so no, I didn't do that. Never mind.
Super secrets.
So let's flash back to the situation with the Mathers and Desi and Levi.
Okay. So, I would definitely like to see if I know anybody in admissions, so that I can
Yes.
get that information to make doing a chart on Rav more doable.
Yeah.
So.
Are you asking anything from Levi, or is?
So.
Thing is,
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to meet up with Mathers later on anyways, because Desi's reaction freaked me out so much that I was not going to give any information there. That was, I think, by the now Levi definitely knows to watch out for Desi, because for some reason he is on the bad side of her. I mean, she didn't do anything, but for some reason, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I was going to talk to you, Meadows, and maybe we find a deal that helps us both.
Yes, I do look forward to that. But I think the way it went down in the short term was that Mathers was trying not to be too direct in how he engaged asking for your help in this, and the fact that you said oh, you're talking about like crafting a thing rather than like tradecraft, spycraft, skullduggery.
I was just wondering if Levi wanted to participate in the scene somehow. I remember what, like...
I feel like both Mathers and Desi don't want him there. like Desi doesn't trust him, and Mathers is like, oh, well, he's not the right person for this job.
Well, don't worry. We'll do the thing first, and then we can do the scene with Levi coming to Mathers. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that there was... Okay, good.
It's all good, though.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do circles.
Yeah.
I
feel like this is not a too complicated circles rule, knowing someone in admissions. What did you want to know from
them? I want to find out Rav's birth date.
Rav's birth date. I guess that's fairly specific, but it's still something someone in admissions would probably know.
They don't need to know it, they just need to have access to the information.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect them to know it off the top of their head or anything.
No, but they need to have access to the information. Let's see. Circles, obstacles. Here we go. So I feel like this is an uncommon occupation. Like there's a limited amount of people who work in admissions. Disposition or knowledge common to the circle. I guess it's something people in admissions would be able to find out. So, obstacle 2.
Okay. And let me see. Do I want to fork in anything? Is there anything that's appropriate? Or can you fork circles?
Reputations. You can fork in affiliations and reputations.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna roll it raw.
I assume you can.
I will help if you're...
I don't see why not. You can introduce him to someone if you know someone. Does anybody know the specifics on those rules?
Looking it up right now.
Advancing.
I imagine to help, you just need to
help.
Also have the, have it be an appropriate circle for you, and we're both students.
I mean, everybody knows the circles here.
Yeah, we have a similar circle of being university students together, so yeah.
Yeah, and you cannot fork, but you can use appropriate wises as a link test for circles if that's what you'd want.
Okay. So, okay.
You're like student wise or something like that, or university wise.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll it raw then.
Okay.
Are you gonna accept my help or no?
Oh, sure, yes. Let me do that.
So, Desi, you can also know to test for advancement then.
Yes.
Did anybody of you guys help
thought,
each other before? Because when you help each other, you can remember that. When you help someone else, you can also know to test for advancement as if you rolled the against the obstacle with your own skill. So helping is advantageous for you generally, except it means that when you fail, you tend to also take the bad things. Like at least with resources, it's like that.
So that's a base of 2?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Ah!
Sweet.
we did it,
I
fam.
know a person. Yes. Or we know a person.
That last die, my helping die.
Yeah,
is what's
yeah.
thinking.
Okay. It's true.
So, yeah, you know somebody in admissions. What they're called? What are they called?
Gerald.
Gerald.
Gerald in admissions.
Gerald. That sounds like a bit of a bookish type.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because if he was a jock, he'd go by Jerry.
Bookish
Obviously.
type.
Yeah. I'm picturing an older gentleman.
Works in admissions, knows mothers. I've started, like, thanks to you, Kelsa, and thanks to the improv game that I've been doing, I started to write down so much more during the sessions.
It helps a lot to write down stuff during
It
the
helps
sessions.
a lot, but I'm just gathering this gigantic monster of information now.
Oh, but it's so impressive to the players when you pull something that was mentioned one time in episode 1 out of your butt because you made a note about it.
Oh yeah, and it's so much fun to get bitten in the butt by the shit you did earlier. I mean, at least for me.
Exactly.
So yeah,
We all have
know
our things.
a Gerald in admission, and you know what? You don't have to convince the guy. He'll help you out. But he wants something from you. What does Gerald want? Gerald, the bookish admissions guy. I know. He wants you to arrange. He wants you to convince Desi to give him a reading for free. Because he has this love interest, and he doesn't have a lot of money, but he would really like to do like to know what he can do to convince her to go out with him. So.
Gotcha.
So does he want a date or does he want
No. He wants
the free reading?
Desi to give him advice for free.
I see.
So you can either pay Desi or convince Desi to help this guy, or maybe Desi wouldn't mind helping this guy. That's all up to you.
I mean, did we go with him together to see him?
I don't know. Did you?
I mean, you helped, so I imagine you're there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
you can't help if you're not in the scene. That's right. So you must have been.
There we go. So yeah. I think like he asks that, and Desi's right there, and I think she smiles a little bit when he asks for this favor in return, and she says, "Those who work your desk see many people, hear many stories, tell many stories. Yes, I think we can work together on this."
Good. He nods. He's a little bit shy about it. I mean, going to somebody to ask advice on a girl you like, it's kind of new to him, but he really likes her. So he's like, yeah, yes. And now, what did you want to know, Mathers?
Oh, well, you know Rav, right?
Rav. Salinthi?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes. Raphael Salinthi. I know him.
Yeah, he has done me a good turn in the past, and I suspect that maybe his birthday is coming up, and I'd like uh, to get him something. But I need to know the right day. I want to make sure that this is all gone about in the right fashion. You understand, right?
Sure. And he doesn't even care if you're speaking the truth or not. He's like, yeah, sure. Raphael. And he goes to like some like to a back room, and you hear him like open some drawers and stuff, and he pulls out a file. And yeah, right here, Raphael Salinthi, born in. Let's see. We should decide on a system, like a calendar system. Is it years like 10,000 before or after something? Is
Don't they
it
have a
the
calendar?
year of the unicorn? Like
I think there is some kind of a yearly calendar.
Pulling up the wiki right now.
Consulting the internet. The calendar of Tamarant.
Yes.
So there's 8 months.
So let me see.
I know that there's 8 months, or yeah, 8 months to a year, and for span to a month.
And each span is 11 days.
Yes.
Okay. So the entry does talk about how it's the 8 months and the days and spans. It doesn't say what year it is currently. But I don't know.
If you're just looking for a date, it would just be like second farthing in the month of blank, in the month of Solus.
Landis or Solus. Yeah.
Yeah, but how is the year system? Would they have like the year of the unicorn, or would they have?
I think the year is probably just like a number.
A number.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Would they be in the beginning of their calendar? I don't think so. I feel like their world is fairly old. They speak of things that happened long ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably dated from the founding of the like the current the founding of the Commonwealth, something like that. And there is like a sort of a BC equivalent, but we're well after the Advent.
Yeah. Pre-founding. You know what? I am just going to I'm going to make it easy. I am going to assume that it's 2016 there.
Sure.
Might as well.
Like when it comes to numbers like that, please don't hold me to consistency. I don't really want to go track if I had the birthday of this guy right, or if I was like 20 years off and he should really not be 40.
It's the second day of current year.
So
yeah, and I mean, I think we can just abstract. Okay, we get the date.
So he was born in 1994 on the second felling of the first month.
Excellent, thank you. I appreciate that. I will plan out the gift now. Thanks again, and good luck with that endeavor of yours. I'm sure that did he didn't like specify that he's actually trying to hook up, or did he?
He did.
Oh, okay.
But not with whom at this point. So yeah, I think Desi is gonna be like, after moonrise, Meet me.
He nods gravely. Where shall I meet you?
The place of fortunes.
He looks questioningly at Mathers.
Oh.
Does Mathers speak Desi well enough to know what she means by that?
I think that's a question. I don't even know what.
Observation.
Are you specifically trying to hide it?
No, no. She cannot speak plainly. That it's an instinct.
Yeah. I get it. Would that just be like raw perception? Or
I mean,
riddles wise, or
character, if you think it's something that he would know.
Like, have you gotten used to Desi enough to know what she means when she says that?
I think we're still in that learning process.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Just
you can
like,
see if you can learn it on the spot.
Yeah. So yes, of course. And by that, Jesse meant, should I make a roll or no?
I
Yes,
mean,
Is it like a roll?
up to you. I imagine if you say that you don't know her well enough and that you're still learning, then roll to learn.
You pick up Desi Wise.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Desi wise.
How about we could make this some kind of a new skill that you can learn, like a wise, not necessarily as specific as Desi wise, but more of
Riddles wise?
talking wise, which will come in handy if you ever need to talk to Elodin.
Yeah, I like riddle wise. I think that would come in
Riddle
handy when
wise.
talking
Oh, yeah,
to Elodin
definitely.
as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
You can definitely try and become riddle wise.
Trust me, stewardess, I speak Desi.
All right. And here we go. Okay. No modifiers. What is my obstacle?
What is your obstacle? I don't know. Kelsa, what is his obstacle?
I think one. I think this is fairly common knowledge of. I mean, it's not a very difficult
Of Desi.
riddle. Let's see. Common knowledge of the subject. Ob 1.
Yep, obstacle 1.
Yeah. This is.
Oh, well, of course.
Subject. There you
You
go.
should turn this into a beginner's luck test rather.
Right, which would double the obstacle to 2, but he still
But
gets
you still
it,
succeeded. So what did you mean by that?
I meant her shop where she tells fortunes.
So you can mark 1 advancement for riddle wise.
Alrighty. Oh yes, her shop, of course.
Okay, should I bring anything? And he looks at Desi again. I don't really know how these things go. We're not going to stick needles in a doll, are we?
She just blinks at him, like, how could you suggest that?
Who do you think I am?
Yeah. Gerald.
And then she says, the stars require knowledge of both subjects for the truest telling.
I see.
You've got
Now,
that one right, Gerald.
I want to jump ahead to that evening for a moment before we continue.
Sure.
Because, like, he shows up on your doorstep with, like, a bunch of paper. And on that, he's detailedly written, like, all the information he has about himself and about the girl he likes. He's written, like, an actual, like, report on the girl and on his own data. And he hands it to you, and he's like, you think that will be enough? And
like,
he looks a little nervous.
She, like, nods and starts to read through it and, like, gestures for him to have a seat, and there's, like, already tea poured, you know?
He sits down, but he doesn't pour he doesn't touch the tea because, you know, it might be for the spirits or something.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable. Yeah, and so she takes a stack of paper and starts to look through it, finding the information that's going to be pertinent, like birth dates and anything like he wrote about himself that might give her a better reading, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I imagine his detailed information will give you an advantage die. I mean, you don't just know, like, you don't just know her date of birth. You know where she eats her bagel in the morning.
Awesome. Yeah. So Desi sits down and says, it seems more than half my work has been done for me. This will be a good reading.
He nods.
And so she gets out like her star chart and like crystals to place them on the stars based on the birth dates and everything, and then she has a set of diviner's dice that she throws there, and then reads the position between where the dice land versus where the crystals are versus the stars, in order to get a reading here on Gerald and his would-be lady friend. So I would like to what is my ob here?
So you'd have you said it was obstacle 4, right, to read the stars?
Yeah, to answer a question. Like
to answer a question.
I can pull it up real
so
quick. But
what is the question specifically? I guess his question that he's asking you is what do I need to do to get her to say yes to have a date with me?
Yeah. So Ob 1, naming the stars and constellations. Ob 2, constructing a horoscope. Ob 3, determining the auspice of beginning an enterprise. Ob 4, calling upon the stars to answer a question. Ob 5, interpreting celestial phenomenon or omens.
So Ob 4, I guess.
Ob 4. Okay. And I get a bonus die from and I get a bonus die here. So I'm trying to decide whether I want to give myself more dice and make it easier, because I might as well. I've got one challenging and one routine, and I need a bunch of everything, so let's just do routine. So I get one bonus die from his material. Can I fork in reading to give myself another bonus die there to have read it more thoroughly?
Let's see. It might be something that reading is applicable to, but let me look it up.
I mean, it wouldn't normally be, but just because of this particular situation where he literally handed me a report.
No, of course. Like, but I mean, what reading is used for is what I'm looking up. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. I imagine that thorough reading is something you can do. Sure.
All right.
I'll allow it.
I will also fork Omen-wise, but I'm not going to fork anything else into it here. Because I'm not looking for falsehood, and I'm not looking for an ugly truth. I'm just answering his question. So,
yeah.
Basically. Okay. And no Artha, base obstacle 4. And...
You make it.
GG.
So, let's see.
You will find true
How
love.
specific would the information be that that you get? Would it be like, well, she likes roses, so give her a rose and you'll do it, or would it more be like, you know, that I feel that this these papers that you have with the information that you've written down, that gives you the knowledge you need, or like what would it be?
I think it's a little bit of that, but like phrased in such a way that gives him confidence. Like you're already doing the right things, and you know what you already know the answer. You just need to do it. But
But how is the information that you get, and what form, what way do you get your information? Do you just know what's going on and tell him, okay, you know this, you know, like, do you know that, you know, he just has to buy her flowers? Do you have a general idea, like a vague idea? Like, how specific is your knowledge? So I want to know what I have to tell you.
Gotcha. I feel like it's not like specific, like, okay, just buy her flowers, unless that was pretty much detailed in his notes and I just put it all together. I think what she gets from astrology is a feeling of
I have an idea.
Yes.
Yeah. So would it be applicable to say that you get that you see some kind of an image in front of you?
Yeah, I could say that.
Okay, so you see an image of a pretty girl with blonde hair, smelling a rose, and you just get this optimistic feeling.
Okay, so yeah, I will express to him that her no, I'm gonna say exactly that. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say, I see a beautiful blonde woman. She smells a rose.
You know she's blonde.
And she feels happiness.
So I just buy her roses. It's that simple.
Everything is simple when you look at it through a certain lens.
Okay. Thank you. And he like collects his papers, and of course, like half of them fall on the floor, and he just grabs them together in his hurry, and he shuffles out the door. Mm-hmm. He's all smiles ear to ear.
Well, that's another happy couple in the making. Soon, everyone at university will have hooked up, and there'll be nobody left to give me money.
worry. You can always just predict impending doom upon their relationships.
I mean,
And they'll
I
they'll
do.
have to come to you for advice how to deal with their spouse. I think she's cheating on me. What do I do?
Step 1. You're wrong. No, so yeah, that's how that ends there.
Okay.
So-
So, back to the situation. I believe you were doing a chart.
Yeah, all that was
what
to
are you
do
doing?
so that we could do Rav's chart, but I mean, maybe we want to cover somebody else first.
Yeah, so you guys were working on Rav's chart, and I imagine that will take you a couple of hours. Levi, what are you doing in the meantime? You got a couple of hours to kill.
Yeah, I need to talk with Leathers. I mean,
Yeah, so he's talking to Desi now. You want to pull him out of their conversation?
no, I leave. I mean, what do? I probably study something then.
You can spend some time training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been doing this whole thing kind of jumping back and forth in time, so maybe we could just jump forward to that conversation.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but let's jump ahead. Like maybe we're still at this evening. Like Desi is receiving her visitor, and Mathers is free to be bothered.
Good. And I think I'll just pay him a visit.
Knock knock knock.
Yes, I would say knock knock.
Who's that?
Yeah, that's sort of a thing. Like, I mean, I wouldn't like try and avoid you, but I might not be super easy to find. Cause I mean I'm since I failed my resources test, I'm staying on my junk, my ship, and I'm not telling anybody where that is. But I do spend a lot of time on campus, doing
Maybe
various
Levi
things.
finds you as you're still as you're wrapping up your stuff with Desi. Like maybe Desi just left and you're
Okay.
just gathering the papers that you've
Yeah,
created together.
That's sounds like something Levi would do. Just wait for the situation to clear.
Okay.
And then wait a few more minutes and then go for it.
Ah, yes, Levi. What can I do for you?
Well, that's an interesting question. But let's say I have a question for you first. Why did you think I would be that kind of person that could do things you were hinting at earlier?
Oh, that. Well, I once had a friend who was into who had a rather interesting career path and had to deal with a number of interesting characters, shall we say. And one thing they mentioned to me is that those involved in certain trades tend to have a very specific pattern of behavior, a way of keeping their faces blank at sometimes and expressive at others, a way of holding themselves that speaks to initiation into certain circles, certain beneath the I know Sir Rasa, what's beneath the table? Anyway, doesn't matter. Certain circles.
Right.
And I am in fact lying about this. This is not a friend. This is me. But yeah.
You can be your own friend.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright.
if you want, you can try to see through him lying if you want.
I mean, I don't need to. I mean, I probably kind of know already what is going on. I mean, I have spent time with this group long enough, haven't I? I kind of know
I
that
mean,
there's something.
Mathers, would he have had the chance to figure out what's going on?
Oh, I'm sorry. It would require a test. I mean, Mathers is not free and open about his business.
Okay, that's perception, isn't it?
No,
Would be
observation, because Mathers is
observation.
actively trying to hide it.
Hey, let's see. Observation. I do have it in my list, but I have not opened it yet. So it's again a beginner's luck test, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is, and it is
Woo!
against Mathers' falsehood.
How could that go wrong?
Mathers, go
Yeah,
ahead and lie.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I'm not getting anything out of it. Like
Observation is perception, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So
okay.
what is my obstacle now?
Your
Biggest
obstacle
obstacle.
will be determined once Mathers rolls. And Mathers' obstacle will be determined once you roll. So one of you should roll first, doesn't matter who, and then the other can use their thing as an
Okay.
obstacle. Doesn't really
Ah.
matter. You can just, or you can both roll at the same time and then we can look. Your obstacle is 5.
Well,
good.
10,
I guess
but
that's...
you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you think Mathers has a friend who knows about certain circles or something. I'm not sure. Like, I didn't really follow Mathers' conversation. That's how careful he was at saying things. I knew someone who knew someone who
Yeah. So
was in a group who.
do you still have that friend?
Oh well, it was some time ago. But if there's something some specific information that you need to know, if you're in some sort of trouble, perhaps I may know someone who can help now.
I just need information about a certain person. But if you could get that contact rolling, I would be appreciative.
Okay. If I may, I know it's a bit indelicate to ask, but if I may ask, who is it that you need information on? Believe me, I am the soul of discretion.
Yeah, I understand that, but I would just like to talk about with that person that will gathering the information or has the information I need. I don't need more people to know than necessary. I'm
Sure.
sorry if it's a bit rude for me or on my side, but
I understand entirely. He says while thinking, oh, well, by doing it this way, it's going to involve more people, but that's okay. That's not my problem.
I I feel like this is a bad rom-com plot. Where really, if you guys were both just honest with each other, we wouldn't have this whole conversation. Like, half the movie would have been over by now.
I have a friend. I would like to know about a friend. Of a friend, perhaps.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they both have good reasons to not tell each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, of course. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
so I will in fact comply, and I will like if you're like arranging this meeting, I will have like one of my employees. I've got a business. It you know, it comes with employees. I'll have one of them show up to get the information, have them tell me, and then I'll go look into it. But
Interesting.
So much trust.
I think
Intrigue.
Or
it's a
so
good idea.
little trust.
We're heading actually towards the end of session already.
Yeah, that's
Time is
Yeah,
flown.
that's
yeah.
true.
Do you guys wanna end things here with
yeah.
Levi about to meet with? Let me write this down. Levi is going to meet
Good-
with an employee
good
of
cut.
Mathers who is going to tell Mathers what Levi said so that Mathers can look into it.
Yep.
Complex web of lies.
yeah. And we still need to do a chart on Rav. And what other balls are still in the air?
With an employee.
Lynn's making friends and influencing people.
Yeah, one of those.
Friends.
Who needs friends?
Then going to tell Mathers. Going to find out the information for Levi. Okay. And a chart still needs to be made on Rav. So, anything else that I can write down? Does anybody have any assumptions that I'd like to take to next session? Any events that they'd like to encounter or things that they'd like to happen in the meantime?
Another job?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think Lynn is going to try and talk to Desi at some point about what's happened. Need some guidance.
Okay. But I don't imagine that's something I need to write down. Since that's purely player driven.
Yeah. I still need to try and find out why Elodin talked to me individually when giving me when telling me how much
Getting
tuition was
time
going to
of day
be.
from Elodin, that's gonna be easy.
Is he here? Maybe.
Yeah. I don't think I have any assumptions because I think I have enough balls in the air. There's plenty going on.
No, there's plenty going on, definitely.
No need for more balls.
Okay.
Got plenty of.
So let me save changes and not like just close a thing like I usually do and then lose everything I've written down. So then I guess we're on to Eartha.
Okay.
Oh, and I didn't spend my fate.
Well, that's okay. It stays over.
Yeah.
GM reference page numbers of important stuff. Earning Eartha, page 63. I'm glad I did this work beforehand.
It was very smart and helpful for all of us.
Let's see. Fate points. Fate points are earned for manifesting a character's belief in a convincing and entertaining manner. Entertaining doesn't just mean funny, it can also be dramatic. This award is given when playing a belief serves a purpose and drives the game forwards. Okay. So, let's go person by person. Desi, did you manifest your beliefs in a convincing and entertaining manner?
Let's see.
What are you?
I did not talk anything about the peasantry knowing magic or sharing that knowledge with the world, so not there. But Lynn and Katerina are good friends of mine, and I'll help them any way I can. I think that specifically telling my mysterious person that trying to form a relationship with Desi was a bad idea, was following that belief, and is going to lead to interesting consequences because of it.
Yeah, I think so.
And also, I do not trust Levi, and I will try to find out more about his past. I did ask him about his past, but I kind of got brushed off, and I definitely...
You didn't have to succeed to fulfill.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If I had succeeded, it might have been a persona, but I definitely think that I pursued that belief in an interesting way, and
definitely, I think that
as long as Mark is not upset about getting kind of cut out there, I think that would have applied.
I think so too.
For my instincts, let's see.
So yeah, fate point. But let's do like per topic. Like I'm also still learning. We're learning how this works, and I'm specifically learning how it works. Like let's do one at a time. Like first, like
Sure.
if everybody did their beliefs for fate, like just one thing at a time.
So
Mothers.
Yes.
Did you? What are your beliefs? Did you manifest them in a convincing or entertaining manner?
So I don't think I did the first one. The university's vast knowledge is being completely wasted. I will use it to influence, to gain influence in Imre's criminal underworld with no one the wiser. I don't know that one really hit. The second one, Desi and Lynn are exceptional sympathists. I will gently encourage them to explore their talents in a way that is profitable to me. I think with Desi that was a hit. That's certainly not it certainly hasn't been resolved, but it was followed and came into play. Pursued.
I think that's reasonable.
And the third one, Levy is a kindred soul. I will find out whether he can be trusted to join my business. Again, pursued, but definitely not resolved.
That's reasonable. Well, you get 3 fate for that. Lynn.
3?
Did you manifest your beliefs in a convincing and entertaining manner?
Let's see, I think Brad had a question.
Oh, was that 3 or 2?
I think 3.
Okay.
What was your first one?
The university's vast knowledge is being completely wasted.
That's 2. My bad.
2. Okay.
You're right. It is 2.
Okay, so my beliefs.
Yeah.
Catherine's my everything, my heart and my soul. I'll do whatever I can to keep her safe.
I think pulling a knife on someone counts as doing whatever you can.
Yeah, I would agree. Except, what's the policy on like getting multiple rewards for the same thing? Do they have to be different types?
I don't know, but I imagine you get only one thing, but we can upgrade it when we get there. We can be like, that was actually a persona instead of a fate or something.
Yeah, if you think it's a persona instead, then it wouldn't count. But I don't.
I think I would get a persona for that for my second instinct. For my second belief, rather.
No. You can get something for instincts and for beliefs. I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, you can.
The same
get
event can trigger multiple things, but
Yeah.
you can't. You can't get a fate off of a belief if you resolve that belief and you're getting a persona for it.
Yeah, exactly. I also thought that was what you meant. So no, that's fine. You can get points for instincts as well as beliefs for the same event. That's not a problem. So you get a fate for that.
So, okay, and then my second belief is we have to stay under the radar so that Baron Willen and his people don't find us. First, need to find out if someone is coming after us. So, persona
I think
for that.
you resolved that.
Yeah.
So that's a persona, not a fate.
Yeah. Okay, my third belief. I mean, it kind of happened, but it wasn't like intentional. Mathers is a skilled alchemist, but I worry about his ultimate purpose and make sure that whatever he's doing doesn't get me in trouble. I steered away from him while he was doing digging into his stuff. It wasn't
the question is,
it wasn't like specifically to get away from Mathers, but it worked out that way.
I'm not sure. It needs to drive the game forward. I'm not sure if it did that.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I'm not sure if that gives you a fate here. So those were your beliefs?
Yep.
Okay. Levi.
Yeah. First belief, I will die before breaking my loyalty to a person that I Conrad Winston, in this case. Yeah.
What? Sorry.
I will die before breaking my loyalty to Conrad Winston.
Okay, yeah.
That's the there you get, the better the air. I will learn magic to climb further. And Lynn is wonderful, and I will not hurt her.
So, let's see. I don't think the second got into play. I think, this Conworth Winston, is he he's your adopted father, right?
Yes, and boss of.
Yeah. So you definitely followed that. So I'm not sure how that works with the third one, because you kind of at least partially went against that by writing a report on Lynn. That might. I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, you have the power to decide what's in that report.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is why I was just trying to write it right away and see if it just is enough to shut them up and be fine with it and done with it. But it didn't work too well.
Yeah, I imagined that the role to write the report would have been easier if you were just like straightforwardly putting down what you knew, rather than hedging.
Like, if you're specifically like trying to put down things that wouldn't hurt Lynn.
So, and the third one,
I could see that
also applies to that. On any other person, I probably already did everything and all the nasty things and tricks to find out a lot.
True,
like
true.
Breaking into
so
their
I'll give you
rooms,
2 fate then.
Do I mark this on
instincts.
the beliefs?
Fate points are. Sorry.
Do I mark this on the beliefs also? Or
no. That's when you spend Artha in pursuit of the beliefs. When you get fate, you just add it to your fate.
All right.
The fate points are earned for playing instincts when such play gets the character in trouble or creates a difficult or awkward situation. If the GM and other players feel players being disruptive with instinct, then Artha does not have to be awarded. Okay. Desi, did you play your instinct in a way that made the situation awkward or got you into trouble?
I think never speaking plainly was awkward, and I don't think it got me into trouble per se, but I definitely think it made the situation awkward.
I think so too.
That one is the fate cash cow.
Always consult stores before beginning an endeavor and have my divining dice on me at all times. And it didn't really come against me at all. And no one ever offers me candy.
I have that on my list.
It's okay. So I think I get 1 there.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Yeah. One day I will learn of your sweet tooth and work it, but
to pick up that Desi Wise.
Yes. Okay, so always blend in didn't bite me in the ass. I don't think. When asked person.
Actually, well, blend in. I don't know. Like, something about you being sneaky. I'm not sure if that's blending in though. Got Davey mad at you.
Ah, okay.
So I'm not sure if that's this one. I'm not sure what like blending in. I guess blending in is different from hiding things. But if you have something to do with hiding things, then that got you into trouble.
Okay. Yeah, I may need to tune that instinct in the future.
It can be a trait as well.
Well,
an inconspicuous trait or something like that.
Oh, I wish. But okay, in terms of instincts, I think I definitely hit when asked personal information lie. That made things more complicated and amusing with Levi.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I have a trait that kicked in, but we're getting to that later, right?
Yeah, we'll do the traits when we get to them.
Right.
1 second before I continue, I need to session. There we go. I need to write down this thing about the cloak you saw because I do need to that to come back next session and bite you in the butt. Mothers saw a mysterious cloak when Baby was threatening Rev. Okay. Good. So Lynn, how about your instincts?
Let's see, I think either Instinct 1 or Instinct 3, but not both, apply to the whole scene with Sarah.
So what were they?
So Instinct 1 is if someone's trying to start trouble with my friends, I go after them like there's no tomorrow. This also kicked in a bit at the whole situation with Mathers at the start.
Yeah, that definitely kicked in. I saw that.
Yeah, made it a bit awkward. And third instinct is when someone confronts me, I go loud, which I think I'm going to rewrite that because I'm getting a bit better idea of what Lynn is like, and she's not like a loud fire. She's a quiet one.
Okay.
Burns all the same. So I think I might actually hold off on that situation until later. I think she has a better fit for it.
I don't think she was threatening your friends so much. So I think the loud one applies to that situation, but the friends thing definitely applied to the situation with Mathers. So you get 2 fate for that.
Okay.
Yeah, even if you're planning on rewriting it later, it definitely was that way now.
Yeah. And my second instinct is more of a downtime thing. So my potions are the strongest there is when I have some time to spare, work my alchemy. So it's practice.
Yeah. Levi.
Yes.
How about your instincts?
So, I do have one I think I used. If in doubt, I don't give away true information or information in general.
Yeah, I think that applied to the situation.
It's going to be very interesting to see the two of you talking in the future.
Yeah, we're going to be dancing around each other for a while, aren't we?
Anything spirits might be foreshadowing, like
anything else that applied?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Okay.
Or maybe
I wanted to say something, by the way. You guys want to get like these. Like don't forget, like with traits, that if you want to get a trait such as Alar, then you have to show that in game because other people have to vote for you having it. And when it comes to that, like you can also interrupt me and be like, hey, I want to go this direction and do this thing. Like I've tried asking players, okay, you've got some time, what do you want to do now? And for some players that works really well, but most players prefer it when I keep bringing on the action. So I'll try to keep bringing on the action and keep bringing stuff for you to happen, but I love it when you interrupt me and when you're like, hey, okay, can I do this thing? And, maybe I'll give somebody else their thing first if I feel they need spotlight time, but then I'll queue your thing up to when it's your time again.
Okay. Well, you can always feel free to ask me what I'm doing now, because I think I'll always have something that I want to pursue.
What are you doing, Mathers?
How do you feel?
Well, I won't necessarily tell you, but there'll be something that I'm pursuing.
I mean, I'm still trying to get a feel for Desi as to what she might be doing in her downtime, so I'm okay with you bringing on the action. And I'm not shy about being like, hold on, I want to do a thing. So, I do like the occasional opportunity to be like, hey, you guys have some downtime right now. Do you want to do something specific? But also, if it's just like, you can be like, no, nothing specific right now, nothing worth taking screen time for. I think that's fine too. I don't know. That makes sense.
How about you, Color?
Yeah, I'm more or less in the same boat as Kelsa. This one. Agree
So
with you about.
you prefer the action to keep coming, and then you're just like, hold on, I want to do something, and then maybe.
I would love to do a scene here before we move on.
Yeah. Okay.
That's your thing.
How about you, Mark?
I'm not sure. I remember you doing it once in the session when I was and you said I have a few hours free that I can use.
Yeah, so it happened actually in our improv session, right? Where I was like, okay, what do you guys want to do now? You've got some time. And that's why I'm actually like saying like that I'll or like presuming that most people want to have the action for me to keep the action coming, because both like on that situation the responses were mixed, where people were like, well, give me more, or some people were like, no, give me downtime and ask me like specific questions about what I want to do. And also in situations before, I've noticed that sometimes it can be kind of awkward, like I don't know, and then people start doing things that doesn't really. They feel the need to do something when you ask them that, and if they don't really have a cool idea, then it kind of becomes a slow, boring thing of something that's not really interesting to give screen time. So, like it's up to you. What would you prefer? I can work with both methods.
The thing is, normally I'm on board with Kelsa, and I don't know, but the Burning Wheel is a system that kind of needs these things in between.
I mean, I'll give you guys to train something, but then I'll just be like, okay, you've time to train stuff. What do you do? Yeah. You've got like 12 months past. What did you do?
But also for
or 2 weeks or
the vote
whatever.
thingy you said earlier, like that you have time, even if you don't have situations where you can use skills or try to use skills, that you have a chance to just say, okay, I'm doing this, and it doesn't have to be much time. It can be just 30 seconds and give it a little bit of flavor. I don't know. It might be good for Burning Wheel, but I'm not sure.
I mean, I think it's a preference. Like, some people prefer the game to be very action oriented, very things happening, moving forwards. And Mitko is an example of a player who's fairly opposite to that. Mitko loves to experience the feeling and the culture of the world. He wants to know what it's like to go to a place and eat a sandwich in this world. So he loves this more like low action flavor time. And if I give you guys like specifically time, like, hey, you have some time left, what do you do now? That gives you the chance to experience this, hey, what are the shopkeepers like in this place, or what is the life of a student like? But if you prefer the more tense, like epic, there's action going on, and people are pulling knives on each other, and Mathers and Levi are having complicated conversation, then it's more about the, okay, I'll tell you when I want to do something, but just keep the action coming.
I would say I think it's about a good mix there, but the mix that people want is individual, so
yeah
hard to do that for everyone.
what I'm hearing is roughly average over you guys is a good mix with a little more heavy on the action. So maybe not every session. Okay, guys, what do you do now? You've got a few hours of time, but once in a while, hey, you got some time. Do you go to like the fishery to make something? What do you do? And then you guys can decide whether you're gonna go eat a bagel or make something or pursue a personal project or whatever.
I guess so.
Yeah, seems good to me.
Yep. Oh, so shall we do traits?
Yeah. So traits are a little bit similar to instincts. It is if invoking the trait alters the direction of the story in an unforeseen way, or makes life difficult for the character. So if your trait really changed where the story went, that's worth a fate. Or if it made your life hard. So Desi.
I don't think any of my traits actually came up at all. I'll just run through them real quick if anybody wants to jump in and say that maybe they did. My traits are disturbed, long fingers, missing a digit, gifted, touch of ages, misunderstood, and well-traveled.
Maybe misunderstood? Did it really make your life difficult, though? I'm not sure if it
did. I'm not sure that it did. Maybe it made Mather's life difficult, but not mine.
Your camera is frozen again, by the way. You are keeping your mouth very closed when you're talking.
I can see Umbra moving, but everybody else is frozen.
Yeah, I can see you moving as well as everyone else. So I'll just translate for you.
Okay.
You like move your mouth when Kelsa is speaking.
All right, that's enough of that.
Yes.
Okay. So for Mathers, he has Rabble Rouser, which I wasn't planning to play to, but maybe that happened.
I mean, I guess.
Are you rousing some rabble?
And then he's paranoid, and I think that did come up. It drove story, and was very much a thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think I was being very mercenary, and I wasn't drunk.
You got to drink more.
Yeah.
Well, if that's a trait you want to keep anyway.
A bit of a drinking problem. Not drinking enough.
Yes. Yeah, it's a drinking problem. I sometimes spill.
Full airplane noise.
So is that just the one for paranoid, or should I mark for Rabble Rouser as well?
So can you tell me? My English is not good enough. Rabble Rouser. What are the specifics? What is what is a Rabble Rouser?
That's like getting a bunch of people to cause trouble, or to stand up, or to
Okay.
I
see.
So like I certainly wasn't trying to get Davey to get in Rav's face.
You know what?
But
I definitely think so. I definitely think so.
Yeah, I think Rebel is usually meant to be like a group of people.
Yeah, it's usually a group for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah, May doesn't count here.
It's a group. I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with the term rebel.
Like trying to start like a movement on campus or
A
something.
movement. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I guess you weren't very rebel rousing. You were trouble making though. For sure.
Good enough.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I guess that's just one fate.
Okay.
Lynn.
Yeah, so I also have Rebel Rouser, and I'm not getting that. I have Spooky and Temperamental.
Temperamental works.
Yeah, I think Temperamental happened. I think it drove the story some interesting. That's the other thing. Can I get? I think Temperamental mostly happened in the whole scene with Sarah. And
Yeah.
I've already got fate for that.
No, you can get a second fate for that. Not a problem.
Yeah. Okay. My rest of my traits are Geometric, Believer, Alar, and the Piercing Gaze. None of which really came up.
Yeah.
So that's
Levi.
Yes.
Your traits.
So, I don't think any of them came up. Maybe driven, I don't think so though. Sea legs, rapier wit, charismatic, driven.
Yeah, I think you need to decide what you're driven about.
Yeah.
Driven is supposed to be like a specific skill that's related to one of your beliefs. I think is the wording in the book.
Okay. I would put it to the first belief though.
So
Just put it.
did anybody stop the table dead with humor while in character?
No.
Who switched my the page where I was editing?
Not me. This time.
I might have done it by accident. I'm sorry.
Did anybody have the right skill when no one else does to keep the story moving?
I think we kept things moving pretty well.
I think in general it kept moving. Did anybody have an instrumental skill?
No, I can't play instruments.
No.
Maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure that's what it's applied for. I'm not sure this is going to come up a lot because you're not really dungeoneering.
This is going to be a rare thing. Like, of course I have underwater baskets weaving.
I can imagine that it came up with Desi when the guy wanted her love advice. Like she had that one like ability to give love advice. But then again, he also just asked it because she had love advice, so
yeah.
He would have asked something else if something else was her skill. I'm not sure. I don't. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to make it more of a? Do you guys want to make it applicable in the situations and situations like it, or do you guys want it to be a kind of you're stuck in a dungeon and you don't have anywhere to go and somebody has this skill that can get you out of this place?
I mean, I think there's room somewhere in between this for where we're going, but I think it's more toward the latter. Like it's more like, oh no, what we're gonna do? Oh wait, I know.
Yeah, I think going forward it will come up fairly specifically that will hit that only Lynn has that skill. Bam, it's done. Get your fate.
Okay. So persona points. Did anybody capture the mood of the table perfectly and further drive the story onwards? Moments like great speeches, desperate decisions, or gruesome revenge fall into this category. I feel like that didn't really happen. It wasn't momentous enough for that to happen yet, I think.
Yeah, we're still building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll come up in a few sessions.
Did a player come to a point where his beliefs, instincts, and traits conflict and a decision had to be made, and he played out the inner turmoil within his own guts in a believable and engaging manner? I don't think yet. It might come up at some point with Levi, but I don't think it played a part yet.
Yeah, I think this is something that's going to come up in the future as well. Like, we're all still figuring out our characters.
The characters who accomplish personal goals can earn a persona point. These goals should either be clearly described in a character's beliefs or should be an explicitly stated goal for the group. This is the award for accomplishing all the various parts of an adventure: the assassination, the betrayals, the kidnappings, recovery of lost artifacts, etc. I think just Lynn.
Yeah. Just for wrapping up that project, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
This is for scenarios, so that doesn't happen, and the voting doesn't for MP.
And clearly, we all earned a deeds point.
Yeah, of course.
You wish. So we did Artha. I think that's it, unless I'm mistaken. Let me look at the GM responsibilities.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think
End
that's
of
it.
session. Right. I should do affiliations and reputations at the point, huh? And steel tests. Okay, I'll look into that later. But there's stuff that I need to remember to do, like change your reputations when they change and such. But I don't think your reputation's changed that much yet.
Yeah.
Lynn's well on her way.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
Lynn might definitely be on our way to change reputation. I'll think about that. Yeah, I think pulling a knife on someone on campus is enough to earn
Might get around.
some kind of crazy reputation. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you've earned yourself a reputation.
She already has a reputation for being cold-hearted towards former lovers.
Let's see.
In that general sphere, at least.
So,
if you want to bump that up to 2 days, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I'm gonna look at it, or you'll get some other reputation, like being crazy. But I think you should get some reputation from this, like pulling knives. Yeah.
Pulling knives on people is worth reputation, man.
You wish
do that more often.
I should pull more knives on people.
So yeah. I guess we're done with the session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like it.
Well, thank you so much for running.
Thank you guys for playing.
Thank you.
I continue to be really excited about this campaign. I'm having a lot of fun so far, and I think it's going to be awesome.
How did you guys enjoy your first real session?
I could go for another 4 hours. I mean, if I had the time.
Surprisingly enough,
It was good.
Surprisingly enough, me too. That is new.
Very cool.
I never really have that as GMing, that I'm like, shit, we're like past time.
I need sleep. You people are crazy.
I need food.
Well, okay. So, to move forward towards sleep and food and appointments, let me see. Kelsa, I believe you may do some things on the internet. Why don't you tell us about them?
Sure. Hello. I'm Kelsa. I do a lot of things actually on the internet. Currently, besides this show, where I play Desi, playing Burning Wheel, I'm in 4 other shows for a total of 5 a week. Tomorrow is one of the few days I don't have a show, but Friday I play in a game of Mouse Guard over on AP Gaming Reels channel. Saturday I'm actually in 2 shows. In the afternoon for me, which is Pacific time, I play in Never Sunny in Dustfall, which is a game of Blades in the Dark, over on Eric Vulgaris' channel. And then after that, I, back on AP Gaming Reels channel, play in a game of The Sprawl, which is a really cool cyberpunk powered by the Apocalypse game. And then on Mondays, I play in, or actually I run a Blades in the Dark game over on Tuxter Damas' channel, which is called The Smooth Criminals, and that just got started this week. So Double Blades, some Sprawl, and Mouse Guard, in addition to this amazing game of Burning Wheel. So, lots of really cool role-playing game content that you can find me at, and occasionally, rarely, I will stream random things like Overwatch or opening packs of Hearthstone cards.
Very cool. I have a feeling like maybe some the Hearthstone pack opening may have happened recently, just given the new expansion.
Yes, exactly.
Very cool. Kala, Umbra, do you have any shoutouts? Even
Not in particular. It's to all these amazing people. Follow them here or wherever else they are. They're wonderful. Yeah, that's me.
anyone? Sorry.
No, I mean, come back next Wednesday. We'll have more drama.
Well, actually, next Wednesday, I think.
Right. Next Wednesday, maybe not.
Hopefully, we'll be here playing like a maybe like a GMless one-shot thing, but we due to the holidays, it may be a few weeks till we get back to this. But you know, as soon as we can manage it, we will.
Definitely. I can't wait. I have a mountain of ideas for you guys.
Okay, so thanks again, everybody. I am going to find someone super cool to host. Let's see.
Faith in your super cool ways.
Yes.
Well, the man himself is streaming something. Patrick Rothfuss.
Okay, yeah. I think we have to do that. So, definitely check out Patrick's stream. It looks like it's actually his assistant Amanda answering questions. So this is in relation to the charity that Patrick founded called World Builders, which is definitely worth checking out. It's like a very smart way of bringing together cool cool genre-related stuff that isn't available elsewhere, like Kingkiller Chronicles merchandise and merchandise related to other very cool authors' settings, and the money is raised to spend in very actually I'm not certain of the specifics, but I believe that it's like targeted in targeting like deep need in developing countries, and very cleverly spent to make the most of it. But ask Amanda, and we will be back soon. Hopefully next week. I'll be back on Saturday for Masks at 9 p.m. That's also powered by the Apocalypse. And Sunday at 4, that slot is kind of up in the air. I'll probably do something, although it may be a video game rather than role-playing. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye bye.